Hey, this is just a video explanation on how to get a line that you have a graph of into standard form. So say this is your line. In order to get it into an equation, right, this would be my y. You want the y-intercept and slope. So slope-intercept form is going to be the way we're going to do that, right? So this is my slope, and this is my y-intercept. So let's start with the y-intercept because that's going to be here. This is my y-axis here. So where it intercepts is 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So my b is going to be 3. This means b equals b. So then I just need a slope. And so remember, slope is rise over run. Divided by run. And so in this case, my rise is going to be, I'm going down 3. So it's -3, and then my run is over 1. So my slope is -3. Oh, I didn't really want to make it both 3's, but that's how we go. All right, so this is the graph. So you have it in this form. So this is your slope-intercept form. But to move it to standard form, right, remember standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers. Actually, let's do one more. Let me add another one just so you get a feel for a different kind. Let's do one that has a fraction. Let's say this is going to be the solution to the system, and let's make it go like this. So say this is what you decided. Don't use this one. Oh, no, let's not do that. Because we want it to go through, here we go. There we go. This will be the solution to the system. Okay, so this line, let's say we decide this line, say we wanted a solution of -2, -3. Say that was what the problem said. Find a system that had a solution that was -2, -3. So we have one line in this, and we'll move that to standard form in a minute. But let's get the line for this. We have a y-intercept here of -1, 2, 3, 4. This is -4. So y equals mx minus 4. That's my y-intercept. And then we need the slope. In this case, we're rising up 1. So my rise is 1, and then my run is 2. So rise over run is 1/2. Okay, and then we want these both to be in standard form. So in order to do that, you want to get the x term, the term with the x, and the y term on the same side. But we don't want fractions. So let me first do it with this one because we don't have fractions here. Let's just get the x and y on the same side. So here we have y on its own side. Let's get this x over to this side by adding 3x to both sides. Okay, and so then this is 3x plus y equals 3. And now that's in standard form. 3x plus y, it's 1y, we don't have to write the 1, equals 3. Where a is 1, b is 1, sorry, a is 3, b is 1, and c is 3. So that's all you have to do, is you just move the x term over to the other side. In this case here, we have a fraction, so you want to get rid of the fraction by multiplying by the denominator of your fraction. In this case is 2. So let's multiply everything by 2. So just like when we're doing elimination, this guy gets a 2, this guy's getting a 2, and this guy gets a 2. So this becomes 2y equals 2 times 1/2, just equals 1. So we can just write x. It's 1x, right? If you take that to the side, right? 2 times 1/2 is the same as 2 over 1, which is 2 times 1, which is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this just becomes 1, but we don't need to write that. Minus 4. And now you don't have any fractions. You want to get the x and y terms on the same side. So we're going to subtract this x. Subtract it from both sides. This becomes -x plus 2y equals -4. Okay, and then if you started with your graph for number 2, if this is what you started with, then on the first problem, right, you'd plug in, you have your boxes. And you'd plug in 3, 1, but now you have a 3, you can't plug in a 3, so this line wouldn't work. So make sure when you're planning it that you're not going to be repeating, right, because you can't repeat the same number. That was just part of the deal. Just makes it a little bit trickier, makes you think a little bit more. Okay, and I think when I was saying that, I was like, oh, I didn't want to make them the same. So be careful when you're designing your line, right, so that the y-intercept isn't the same as the slope. or the opposites of it. Okay, so this wouldn't work, but this is the idea. So if this worked, if this did not end up repeating, like you can have the -1 and the 1, but you can't have the 2 3s. Okay, and then you want to just check. I said the solution had to be -2, -3, so just check that. So plug in your -2 for x, plug in your -3 for y, and see if you get 3. And then at this point, maybe, yeah, you need to start over. So make sure when you do your graph that when you have your standard form that you're not repeating. Okay, please email me if you have any questions.